Disclaimer. This video is AI generated for infotainment only. Data sourced from the internet. AI may hallucinate. Verify all facts independently.
August 5th, 2019, 11 am Rajya Subha. The Home Minister of India rises with a piece of paper. He reads it out loud. By that evening, a state that had existed since 1947 will no longer be a state. The state is Jammu and Kashmir. The instrument is a single resolution. No constitutional amendment, no state legislature consent, a simple majority in parliament, and it is done. This has never happened before in independent India, a state demoted into a union territory overnight. How is this even legal? The answer is in 4 sentences, Articles 1 to 4 of the Indian Constitution. Chapter 6, the Union and its territory. Dr. Ambedkar called India something the textbooks never quote in full. He said India is, quote, an indestructible union of destructible states. Read that again. The union, the country itself, cannot be destroyed. No state can secede, no territory can break off. But the states inside the union, destructible, erasable, redraftable with ordinary process. That is the paradox at the heart of Indian federalism. It is the reason Parliament could erase Jammu and Kashmir statehood between breakfast and dinner on August 5, 2019. By the end of this chapter, you will walk away with 4 answers. What Article 1 actually says about the country's name and the 17-hour fight that produced the words India, that is Bharat. 2. The 3 categories of Indian territory and why territory of India is a wider phrase than Union of India. 3. Parliament's powers under Articles 2, 3 and 4 to admit, form, reshape, rename, and yes, erase states. 4. How India was actually built from 562 princely states in 1947 to 28 states and 8 union territories today, and which states are still being demanded right now. Here is the architecture on one page. 1950, India is organized into 4 classes. Part A, 9 former British provinces, Part B, 9 former princely states, Part C, 10 centrally administered units, Part D, 1 solitary territory, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, 29 pieces in total. 1956, after the Fazl Ali Commission and the States Reorganization Act, all of that is reshuffled. 14 states, 6 union territories drawn primarily on linguistic lines. Today, 28 states, 8 union territories. One open question: when does Jammu and Kashmir get its statehood back? The Supreme Court said at the earliest in December 2023. It is May 2026. The earliest has not arrived. So that is the roadmap, Articles 1 through 4. From the constitutional bombshell to the live political battlefield. Let's open the Constitution. Article 1. That is, Bharat shall be a union of states. 4 words you have heard 100 times. Most people miss what they actually mean. First, the name. The Constituent Assembly fought for 17 hours across 2 days over whether the country was India or Bharat. The compromise was both. The phrase India, that is Bharat, is not drafting, it is a treaty. Second, the structure, union of states, not federation of states. Dr. Ambedkar gave 2 reasons. 1. The Indian Federation is not the result of an agreement between states. The states didn't sign up. The federation came first. 2. No state can secede. The union is indestructible. Article 1 also splits Indian territory into 3 categories. 1. The territories of the states. 2. The union territories. 3. Any territory the government of India may acquire in the future. That 3rd category is why territory of India is a wider phrase than Union of India. The union is just the states. The territory includes everything India holds, directly administered or otherwise. Article 2 lets Parliament admit or establish new states that are not already part of the union. Admit for territories that were independent. Establish for territories that were never states at all. The most consequential use of Article 2 was Sikkim. In 1975, Sikkim was an independent kingdom in protectorate relationship with India. The 36th Constitutional Amendment used Article 2 to bring Sikkim in as India's 22nd state. That is the kind of move Article 2 unlocks, bringing in someone who was outside. Article 3 is where Parliament gets to redraw the map. 5 powers. 1. Form a new state by carving territory out of an existing state or by uniting 2 or more states. 2. Increase the area of any state. 3. Diminish the area of any state. 4. Alter the boundary of any state. 5. Alter the name of any state. 2 conditions. 1. The bill needs the President's prior recommendation before it can be introduced. 2. The President must refer the bill to the legislature of the affected state for its views. The catch: those views are not binding. Parliament can accept them, Parliament can reject them, and in the case of a union territory, even the reference is skipped. So states can be reshaped without their consent. That is the constitutional reality. Article 4 is the quiet sentence that makes everything above possible. It says, laws made under Articles 2 and 3 shall not be deemed to be amendments of the Constitution under Article 368. Read that twice. A law that erases a state, a law that renames a state, a law that splits a state in two. None of these are constitutional amendments. Which means they do not need a 2/3 majority, they do not need ratification by half the state legislatures, they pass by a simple majority. Like any ordinary bill. That is the architecture of Indian federalism in 4 sentences. Destructible union. Destructible states, simple majority is all it takes. Now you see why August 5, 2019 looked the way it did. There is one limit to Parliament's redrawing power, and it came up in the very first year of the Republic. Berubari Union, a small piece of West Bengal. In 1958, the Nehru-Noon Agreement said part of Berubari would go to Pakistan. Question: can Parliament use Article 3 to give Indian territory to a foreign country? President Rajendra Prasad referred the question to the Supreme Court. The answer: in 1960, no. Article 3 lets Parliament reshape India internally. It does not let Parliament cede territory abroad. Session needs a constitutional amendment under Article 368. So, Parliament passed the 9th Constitutional Amendment Act in 1960 to transfer Berubari. That is the rule: internal Article 3, external Article 368. The most recent use of that rule was 2015. India and Bangladesh shared a 4,100-kilometer border with an inheritance problem. After partition, there were Indian enclaves inside Bangladeshi and Bangladeshi enclaves inside India. A 1974 agreement said let's swap them. It sat unratified for 41 years. In May 2015, the 100th Constitutional Amendment finally executed it. India transferred 111 enclaves to Bangladesh. India received 51 enclaves in return. 4 state borders, Assam, West Bengal, Meghalaya, Tripura, were redrawn. That is what a constitutional amendment looks like when you are moving a border across countries. But that whole story, Articles 1 through 4, the Berubari rule, the Bangladesh swap, only exists because India was built first. In 1947, India was not one country. India was British India plus 562 princely states. Some were the size of a district. Hyderabad was bigger than France. The Indian Independence Act gave each princely state 3 options: join India, join Pakistan, stay independent. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and V.P. Menon spent the second half of 1947 walking room to room, signing instruments of accession. 559 joined willingly. 3 did not. 1. Junagadh. Its Muslim Nawab signed for Pakistan. Its Hindu majority population revolted. India organized a referendum. Junagadh joined India. 2. Hyderabad. Its Nizam wanted to be independent. India launched Operation Polo in September 48. 5 days of police action. Hyderabad joined India. 3. Jammu and Kashmir. Its Maharaja delayed signing. When Pakistani tribesmen invaded, he signed the instrument of accession on October 26, 47. India sent troops. 3 holdouts, 3 different methods, 1 outcome. By 1949, the map was complete, almost. The map of India today was drawn by hunger. December 15th, 1952, Potti Sriramulu, a Gandhian, died on the 56th day of a hunger strike. His demand, a separate state for Telugu speakers. The government of India had refused. Within weeks of his death, it relented. On October 1st, 1953, Andhra state became India's first state organized on a linguistic basis. The dam broke. The government appointed the Fazl Ali Commission to study the whole question. Its report came out in 1955. The States Reorganization Act of 1956 did the heavy lifting. India was redrawn into 14 states and 6 union territories, mostly on linguistic lines. That is the India most of us grew up imagining. It is younger than your parents. After 56, the map kept shifting. Bombay split into Maharashtra and Gujarat in 1960. Punjab split into Punjab, Haryana and the Union Territory of Chandigarh in 1966. The Northeast was reorganized through the 70s and 80s. Manipur and Tripura became states, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh. In 2003, new states were created in 1 year. Jharkhand from Bihar, Chhattisgarh from Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand from Uttar Pradesh. The newest state is Telangana, carved out of Andhra Pradesh on June 2, 2014. 28 states, 8 union territories. That is the current count. But the count moved the other way once. August 5th, 2019. Article 370 is abrogated. Jammu and Kashmir is split into 2 union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. For the first time in independent India, a state became a union territory. The challenge reached the Supreme Court. December 11, 2023, a 5-judge constitution bench led by Chief Justice Chandrachud upheld the abrogation. The court directed the Election Commission to hold J and K elections by September 2024, and it said statehood must be restored, quote, at the earliest. The elections happened. Omar Abdullah is the Chief Minister of a union territory. But the earliest has not arrived. As of May 2026, J and K is still a union territory. The rest of the map is not done either. Ladakh wants statehood. Sonam Wangchuk led a Delhi Chalo march in 2024. In September 2025, he was detained under the National Security Act, released in March 2026, still demanding. Vidarbha, 11 eastern districts of Maharashtra, has demanded statehood for a century. Greater Tipraland was promised a, quote, time-bound solution in a tripartite accord signed March 2024. Bodoland goes to the Autonomous Council route, Korkhaland to the interlocutor route. At the international edge, Katchatheevu remains a Tamil Nadu election issue. The Karnataka-Maharashtra Belagavi dispute flared again in February 2025. The map is never finished. So, to recap, India's territory has 3 categories: states, union territories, and any future acquired territory. Article 1 gave us the name and the Indestructible Union. Article 2 lets Parliament bring in new states. Article 3 lets Parliament reshape, rename, or erase states. Article 4 says you only need a simple majority to do it. Berubari said you can't cede to a foreign country without an amendment. The 100th Amendment of 2015 actually moved a border across countries. The princely states were integrated by Patel and Menon. 3 holdouts settled 3 different ways. The map was redrawn linguistically in 56, expanded in 2000, last reshaped in 2014, and last reversed in 2019. That is the architecture, the history, and the ongoing fight. Next chapter, Citizenship, Articles 5 through 11. The Constitution decides who counts as an Indian. The CAA, the NRC, the diaspora status, all of it sits in those 7 articles. Subscribe if today's video helped you. The next one drops on the channel.